Now on 12, shocking developments inside a Rockland County courtroom.
He was burnt to death. Dogs had to search for his body.
Emotional statements in court today as a judge handed down sentencing for the two men charged in connection to a fatal fire at an assisted living facility in Spring Valley. That blaze claimed the life of a resident and a volunteer firefighter, and despite the loss, the defendants will serve probation with no time behind bars.
This court does not make its decisions based upon the number of protesters crowding a courthouse lobby.
Growing calls tonight for both the judge and the Rockland DA to step down following their decision. Tonight we have Team 12 coverage following every angle of this case. We've been tracking it closely now for 2 years. We begin tonight with more of that emotional sentencing and the reaction from inside the courtroom. News 12 cameras were there this morning, and so was our Diane Caruso, who has the details.
Well, it was an emotional and precedent-setting day in that Rockland County courtroom. The parents of volunteer firefighter Jared Lloyd stood and faced Rabbi Nathaniel and his son Aaron Sommer as they talked over their loss of their own son and the heartache they say they deal with every day.
Because of what these defendants did that night, my family will never be the same again.
The victims' loved ones got to share impact statements in court on Wednesday before Rabbis Nathaniel and his son Aaron Sommer were sentenced to probation and fines as part of a plea deal agreement made back in June when the pair confessed to recklessly starting the March 2021 fire from koshering the facility's kitchen.
How does the negligent act of these defendants warrant no jail time, Judge Russo?
It's been 2.5 years since volunteer firefighter Jared Lloyd, as well as Evergreen Assisted Living Facility resident Oliver Houston, lost their lives from a fire at that facility in Spring Valley.
There will be no more fatherly conversations that we used to share.
A Spring Valley firefighter read remarks from Eric Sitch, who was seriously injured during the fire.
But it's a shame no one is being held to any type of responsibility for this completely unnecessary loss of life.
Rabbi Nathaniel Sommer apologized.
I've tried my whole life to help people, and I did the exact opposite here.
While his son declined to speak. Ultimately, Judge Kevin Russo did not deviate from the June plea deal and gave this message to the father and son defendants.
But now it can never be said that these practices done in that fashion have any place in modern society. 2 precious lives were tragically lost due to your actions.
Next Monday, September 25th, Jared Lloyd would have turned 38. He leaves behind 2 sons. In New City, Diane Caruso, News 12.
Thank you. A lot of anger over this deal. And tonight, emotional reaction to the rabbi's plea deal is extending far beyond that courtroom. While the victims' families and activists say it robbed them of justice, other leaders feel the sentence was appropriate. Our senior reporter Tara Rosenblum caught up with both sides.
I'm sorry.
As the fate of the 2 rabbis were revealed inside the courtroom.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Outside, frustration filled the streets. What does your sign say?
Well, it actually says,
But even though we can't share the words they chanted and carried on their signs, the message coming from these firefighters, parents and activists rang loud and clear.
Get that DA out of office, y'all.
They are angry to say the least that Rockland District Attorney Thomas Walsh agreed to a plea deal avoiding any prison time for Nathaniel and Aaron Sommer, who admitted to sparking the fatal 2021 Evergreen Court fire.
Where's the justice?
Firefighter George Sitch, whose own son was injured in the deadly blaze, worries, as others do, that the plea deal could have a crippling impact on the morale of Rockland's bravest.
Somebody should be held accountable for this.
But not everyone agrees.
I think the sentence is entirely appropriate given the history of sentences.
Rockland County legislator Itamar Yeager, a former prosecutor and firefighter, is one of 27 elected officials who signed this letter sent to Judge Russo, urging him against prison time, warning, quote, "This tragedy should not become a vehicle for inciting anti-Semitic sentiment."
This case probably wouldn't have gone forward at all if not for the religious aspect of the case.
An emotional day as Rockland residents debate over whether or not justice was served.
Justice for Jared.
Tara Rosenblum, News 12.
For the first time, the district attorney, who angered a lot of people over this plea, is speaking out about it. Several fire departments called on prosecutor Tom Walsh to step down. They felt he promised justice. He didn't deliver. Today, he says his office only accepted a plea with the condition at least one defendant, as you heard there, admit their recklessness. He says that will help the family's civil cases. He adds trials can be emotionally taxing and make it harder to guarantee an outcome, especially because he says the investigation found evidence that would make the prosecution challenging.
The gravity of these decisions weighed heavily on us. Justice isn't a one-size-fits-all concept, and it does not always mean incarceration. It's multifaceted and must take into account various factors, including intent and the specific circumstances of the crime.
Walsh says he didn't speak out sooner because it wasn't appropriate to do so until after sentencing. If you want a comprehensive view of everything leading up to this day, you should watch our investigative special from Tara Rosenblum, Playing with Fire. You can find it right now on news12.com.
All right, VJ, thank you. Turning now to a developing story out of Peekskill. County law enforcement officials are giving an all clear to the school district after an earlier bomb threat. School district officials say the threat came in via email this morning, prompting them to cancel all outdoor activities and step up security inside all of their schools. The county K-9 unit concluded their search of all district buildings, which turned up nothing. Dismissal and after-school programs continued as scheduled. And the city of Yonkers is debuting a new school bus safety program. It comes after a viral video made the rounds last week showing drivers speeding past a school bus stop arm sign. We showed you that. The city is now installing cameras on all 400 of its buses. This is part of Yonkers' Safe Stop, an effort to fix the problem and prevent future tragedies. And when those cameras catch you, it can cost you.
If you are passing a school bus, there will be a picture taken of your license plate, and then there'll be a ticket that will get generated, and there'll be a fine that will be sent to your home.
And that first violation will cost you $250. It's $275 on the second offense and $300 for every following offense within an 18-month period. We'll have more on when those fines will take effect coming up tonight on the news at 8. A special partnership celebrated in the town of Cortland. Leaders there were joined by the county executive to highlight an ongoing public safety initiative outfitted with county police officers.
But our county police are right here on campus. We've renamed the building the Cortland Precinct. It's right on the building. We've also put Cortland Precinct on all the patrol cars, and the officers that are here from the county patrol this area.
The town also introduced its new community policing officer today, Officer Alberto Ramos, who will focus on traffic and quality of life issues. State police also have barracks in town on Memorial Drive. That building was recently renovated by the town. And the town of Yorktown will begin reconstruction on its police plaza on Monday. The repair work at 2281 Cropon Road will fix broken steps at the entrance to the police headquarters and the Justice Court as well. Officials unveiled mock-ups of the plans at a news conference today. The town board awarded a $500,000 contract to Contact Construction. This was back in June to perform that work. In January, the town board voted to rename the police plaza in honor of Police Captain Kenneth Scroey, who passed away suddenly earlier this year. And funeral services are being held this week for a community staple in Peekskill. The Reverend Jeanette Phillips passed away last week on Tuesday. She was a leader and an advocate for her community, for health care, and one of the founders of the Peekskill Area Health Center, now known as Sun River Health. Visitation was held today at Rhodes Funeral Home in Newburgh. A homegoing celebration will also be held tomorrow at Paramount Hudson Valley. She will be laid to rest immediately following at Rose Hill Memorial Park in Putnam Valley. She will definitely be missed by her community. All right, let's check out our hyperlocal forecast. Meteorologist Julian Seawright is here with that.
Well, things are going to be nice and cool for the rest of this evening, heading into tonight. Right now into the lower 70s, plenty of open skies. But folks, we are going to see a bit chilly conditions heading into tonight, as many of us will be into the middle to lower 40s and even those low 50s as well. But for tomorrow, we're going to be repeating another nice one. But a quick look at Thunderbolt 12. We're going to be expecting to see this hit the roadways for storms that we'll be talking about coming up when news and weather return.